So, in regards to the winter market updates, we're seeing contracts come in with closing costs and people getting a little bit better priced homes and good values. I know with rates going up, in theory, home prices have to come down. So my question to many of my buyers is, I know a lot of people are saying, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until rates come back down and getting back active in the market. I would suggest if you're still a person that's going to be needing a property in the next year or 2 years, and your goal is to get a property, nothing with interest rates is going to change anything. And here's my justification why. We do know interest rates are going to come down. We've talked about that many weeks here in many markets of that occurring because of what a recession does to the whole economy and how that's affected with interest rates. The experts right now that many of you do not get a chance to see because you have to pay for subscriptions for these great expertises are predicting next spring that rates will come back down. And my anticipation is when rates come back down, home prices will then go up and more people will get off the couch and go look at purchasing a home, which is going to turn into the same or similar market that we've had the last 2 years, where again, we still don't have enough inventory and we have just as many people that want to purchase homes. So I understand the defense of, hey, I don't want to buy a house when interest rates are high. I completely understand that. I never would advise someone to do that. But I would also say if you're looking at purchasing a home, now is the time to look at obtaining a property. And I've always said for over 20 years that December for first-time home buyers sometimes is the best time to buy a house. Those that are selling their house in December are always selling for a reason. They're not really looking to make an absorbent profit. They're selling for life reasons. They have to move. They're taking a new job. They have other things going on in their life that makes them sell their house. And they want to move just like you want to purchase a house and move as well too. So if we wait for that crazy market of rates to come down, home values and homes are just going to be harder to obtain. So if you're able to purchase a home now, you still have the option to refinance. And you've heard those ads, and a lot of them say, we're going to guarantee you a free refinance. I'm not always hearing that. Some lenders give a little bit of a discount. We at Mortgage Specialists do work with our previous clients to give a discount off their closing costs, but there's no such thing as a free refinance. There's no free closing costs. In order to do that, you have to increase the rate to make it happen. But when rates do come back down after you own that home, you can refinance, get that payment right in line, and you already have access to a home when other people, again, are going to be fighting over it and probably going back to the same markets of having to bid over asking in order to get those properties. So I've heard the same kind of story that I didn't like the market when things were busy. I don't like the market now that rates are higher. But I would suggest to you to think a little bit outside the box and forecast and plan what's going to happen in the spring market. So if those things are going to happen in the spring market, the only way to really obtain a property is to do it now over the next couple months. And again, if this is not a market that fits for you and you're very risk adverse, maybe it's not. But I do anticipate the market changing in the spring. Also, many studies have shown out there, rates compared to overpaying for prices. A lot of these advertisements are, in my opinion, numbers made up to match things. We can never look and know exactly what it takes, but if we do look at a scenario of possibly buying a house now with rates closer to upper sixes versus buying a property when rates are closer to 4 or 5, and you have to overpay because there's more people looking at that house, you might end up saving more money now, even though the rates are higher compared to paying over asking price with lower interest rates. So all I'm kind of giving you is another piece of education and information to think about. It doesn't mean it's exactly going to be fit for you. But I also know when people are looking at trying to time the markets perfectly, it never works out. I don't hear clients saying, I'm going to wait to save for retirement for the stock market to go down. Or I'm going to wait to retire and save for my retirement until the markets go up. We know the markets are going to go up and the market's going to go down. Real estate is the same way. Market's going to be up, market's going to be down. But over time, if we think logically about why do we need a home? We want a home because we want to make it our own. We want a home to raise our kids. We want a home because we want to put our kids in a certain school districts. We want a home because we're tired of moving every year. We want a home because rents are rising. if we talk about why we truly want a home, it's irregardless of what the interest rates are, you still want to put that priced home in your wheelhouse. And maybe in the short months of 6 months, you may overpay. But in the long run, you might not. The appreciation might kick back in with interest rates lowering once inflation cools, which we've seen that happening recently, and you might win in the long run. So while again, I'm not here to say every certain situation is the perfect time, but I'm entertaining you to think openly about what it is that makes you ready to buy a house. And if so, the winter markets are a perfect time. And I hear a lot of people not wanting to buy. And what that means to tell you is this is an opportunity to buy. If you look at some of the studies, sell when everyone's buying and buy when everyone's selling. It's the same type of scenario. Less competition is generally a time to look at and educate yourself. Is this maybe a time for me to get in when others aren't? And I'm actually at the forefront of making that investment work for me. So the winter markets are definitely always slower here in the Midwest. They have been because of weather. We're seeing a not perfect day out today, and those things happen. People don't want to move during blizzards and snow and wind and rain. But still at the same time, those that have to move for life reasons are still looking at properties online and in houses each and every day and are still looking at buying and selling homes. So if you're one of those persons that really needs a home in the next 12 months, I would still advise you highly to continue looking for homes and get your property now. When rates get down in the future, you'll be able to refinance. So thanks again for checking us out. And if this is the first time you're listening to us, obviously find us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. We're working on our TikTok page here soon, but we're always here every week, usually at Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Sometimes that changes, but most of the time we're here to give you some different education from the outside in regards to mortgage industry and how it affects the real estate markets. But you can always phone call us at 402-991-5153, or you can check us out on our website at mtg-specialist.com. We hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you very soon. Mortgage Specialists. Driven, trusted, reliable.